Welcome to What in the Actual Mental Health. Yes, there it is. You're welcome.
It's worse
It
than
gets
the
better
last time.
every time.
Terrible. Terrible.
Just like, quiche.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, we are
I'm like,
just
yeah.
circling the drain here.
Yeah, it's like, oof, you're all uncomfortable. You're welcome. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Mel Robbins' book, Let Them. I'm going to preface this by saying I've not read this book, so I'm not even going to lie. But I'm going to read a thing so that in case people don't know what it is, then they have an idea. But you said you kind of know what it is?
I mean, again, I also haven't read the book, and I just know essentially like let them is like let people do whatever the fuck they want to do. And like if they're like talking shit about you or they're just like being disgusting toward you or whatever, it's just like let them be who they are because it's not really a reflection of who you are.
Okay, pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
Damn, I made that up.
Yeah, you did good.
Well, I mean, that's what I assumed.
Yeah, well, it's not like a hard fucking title to like.
Well, or let them sink ship. I don't know.
Okay, so, and here's what I will kind of preface this with, and what probably bothers me a little bit is that I'm not a huge fan of self-help books. I don't love them. I don't. There's some that I'm like, okay, I can kind of get like a little bit behind. There's some I've read, but there's a lot where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that and part of the reason I didn't read this book, and I don't know Mel Robbins, obviously, from a fucking ham sandwich, and I haven't read her book.
I've never heard anybody say they don't know something from a ham sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I know a ham sandwich better than I know her. So there's that. But yeah. Here's what I don't love, though, is that she's not, like, she doesn't have any clinical background at all. Like, there's nothing about her that is, like, social worky, counseling, psychiatry, nurse practitioner. Like, there's not anything in her background that has ties to actual, like, mental health stuff, which to me is a little bit why it bugs me.
Okay.
So, let's see. So, Mel Robbins is the creator and host of the award-winning The Mel Robbins Podcast. We should have just named that. That's what we should have named this.
The Rebecca and Catherine podcast.
Yeah, it would have been taking a lot less fucking effort to start names. One of the most successful podcasts in the world, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
21 million followers, blah, blah, blah. No one cares.
I mean, 21 million people care.
Some people care. Yeah,
That's
I'm sure her family cares too.
21 million.
Her book has been translated. She does some things and some videos. And so, yeah. So basically, her premise behind this is, like you were saying, is let them. Like you don't give the fucks. Which, to me, as somebody who has, like, struggled with codependency, there's a lot of things with this that I'm like, and it's funny because I had never read it. I had heard about it. I've watched her do some, podcasty things about her book. And from the very beginning, I was like, I don't really like this idea. Like, just let them, like, okay, maybe. Right. So I thought, well, I'm just going to leave it alone. And then
You're not one to leave it alone. So that's
no,
bullshit.
not for very long. Yeah.
You talk shit,
it's
I'm
like
sure.
Poke it with a stick after a couple minutes. And so then I saw this girl on Instagram and she read the book and she's like, this is absolute bullshit. And she was like, as somebody who's like had a lot of trauma, this is bullshit. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And, like, at what point do you say, like, that's not healthy to just be like, well, whatever, just let them do whatever the fuck they want, And I don't know.
I feel like you and I are going to be on opposite sides of this.
Shocker of the fucking year.
Well, because this is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Is I just let them.
Explain more.
Boop. Boop. I'm like, did not say fire drill or whatever the fuck it was. Firearm. Yeah. Fire alarm. Boop.
Beep. I wish everybody could have seen that.
God.
That was before the YouTubes.
The YouTubes. Okay, well, why don't you go first and tell me what. Well, because
you let them.
I did let them, and look where I'm at. Look how good it turned out.
With everybody in your life, you just let them.
Yeah.
So, like...
You're not happy.
No, because, like, that...
Yeah.
Give me an example. Tell me.
My previous business partners.
So you didn't, like, get upset. You did it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that for a second. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Okay. these people rightfully basically stole from you. Like if we're going to, tomato to tomato, they stole from you and you let them. And you're okay with that. Like you didn't want to fight the fight and be like, hey, that's not okay. And I don't think that's fair. And I don't think it's appropriate or whatever. You were just like, bah, I'm not really upset about it. And that's fine.
No. I was definitely upset about it.
And I don't want to fight it. And
I mean, the thing is, the way that I look at it, yes, like I had like a visceral reaction. I was super upset, but everybody was like, you need to do this thing. You need to go after them. You need to go, and like everyone had an opinion. This is what you need to do. You have to do this. Da 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 da. And as angry and as upset as I was, and like it definitely, like the way that it happened, they just, I got absolutely crushed me. These people let me believe that they were like my partner in crime, that they believed in me, da da da. And turns out they essentially like used me as their cash cow when it didn't turn out the way they wanted. Then they were like, get the fuck out. I'm gonna take the thing that you built. And then they ran it into the ground and then blamed it on me.
Right.
So, was that like really super devastating? Did it like put me in a dark place? Yeah, there was a ton of like negative things up front, and even still, like there's some things that as a result have kind of like fucked me. But I did not retaliate. I did not do anything. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let you be disgusting. And at the end of the day, your true colors are gonna shine through. And that's exactly what happened. And now they're no longer.
But what if like down the road something comes up or something happens, and because you didn't fight it, or you didn't say like, hey, you know what, actually that's not accurate, or that's a lie, or you have defamed me, you would be okay with it?
I mean, at the end of the day, all of the things that they said that I did or didn't do, when push came to shove and there was research done, audits done, internal conversations, whatever, it all came up negative.
Right.
So like they don't have the power. Like what more can you do? Like if you look at what happened and I let them behave the way they thought was necessary and I just fucking moved on, who's better off? Is it them or is it me?
Well, yeah, no.
I know you hate that.
I do.
It like burns you deep in your soul. And literally every other person in my life is like, that burns my soul. Your fucking face is getting red.
Yeah,
you're
like,
angry. I get it. And like, that doesn't mean that you can't be angry. You can't have the feelings. You can't, process or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're a year and a half out from the situation or whatever the fuck I'm trying not to like give all it's no one else's business, but there were some really nasty things said about me and done to me.
Right.
And I was quiet and okay, you just fucking let it happen. Just let it, whatever narrative you need to have. And then push came to shove and now that business and those partners are no longer involved in that. And everybody else on the outside has come to me and been like, the only reason that I'm here is because of the way that you conducted yourself. You did not retaliate. You don't like your character shows who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't think you should be, I don't think eye for an eye necessarily, right? It's not
yes,
like,
you do.
I mean, I would like to, but I also recognize though in business, right? Like you have to be, I mean, trust me, there are lots of people, that I can think of that even when I very first started my business, same thing where you're just like, oh, okay, motherfuckers, like here we go,
Yeah.
I don't wear the fucking evil eye for fucking nothing here because I'm like, stay fuck away from me. But I guess for me, and maybe that's like part of it too, is it from what this person, because again, I didn't read the book, so fucking caveat here, is that there was a lot that was basically like kind of almost of just like, you're not even going to have any feelings about it. You're just going to be like, whatever, and just let them be. And it's like, that I definitely think is dumb because you're always going to have feelings about the things that people do, especially if it's hurtful. So I don't agree with that. But I think, because I can think about even like when the feds like fucking railroaded me, I still went and met with a lawyer. And I think for me, that's where it's like, for me, the let it be or let them be, whatever, is difficult because it's like to a point Like, I got to fight a fight to a point. And then I'm like, all right, there's nothing more I can do, then that's fine. But I think it's the not doing anything at all that I'm like, no, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I also very similarly, like in my divorce with my husband, you know, my ex-husband, like my girl's dad, I just let him, whatever reality he needed was, okay, that's your narrative. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You just say what you got to say. You believe what you got to believe. Because then when we come to a point where you can actually see, and we've had that conversation, and it was about a year later, and he was like, I understand why you left. And I was like, there was nothing more vindicating than for me to be like, I'm not going to say shit.
Yeah.
It is not my place to convince you to feel or see things one way or another. But after the fact, when the fucking dust has settled and you're like, oh, damn, I fucked up. I mean, in a marriage, in a divorce or whatever, like in a divorce, it takes two to tango.
Right.
It's never like, oh, we just like one day we're like, oh, we don't work anymore. That's like not at all how that goes. Like we both dropped the ball and all that. But he was very much like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I fucked up.
Do you think like having this, you know, let them theory, as she calls it, which is interesting also, but whatever, that's
a theory.
She calls it a theory,
I'm
which
gonna
is
look and see if I can find like a little rundown or a little snippet. Yeah.
Could be dangerous, like I said, for people who are very codependent.
I'm very codependent. And I feel like that's a great way to set a boundary.
Okay. I could see that.
Like I'm extremely codependent.
I guess, okay, so let me say that. Then I guess if you were like, all right, I'm going to let people be who they are, but I am going to express my boundaries, then yeah, I could see that. I think that's the difference, though, is that not a lot of codependents are able to or know how to set boundaries. So I think for me, that's where this feels very dangerous, where it's like if you're super codependent and you're letting them, you know, let them theory the fuck out of you because you don't want to, you know, ruffle feathers or hurt anybody's feelings or lose them, then that's dangerous.
Well, because if you're just letting them, the whole premise is like, you're going to behave the way that you're going to behave.
Right.
And if you're a piece of shit, at the end of the day, that's going to come out. And if all I do is control how I feel and how I respond, that is teaching someone to set a boundary. You be a shitbag.
Right.
I'm not going to be a shitbag.
Right.
And
but how many codependents do you and I know?
Right. So what I'm saying is, well, none.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why this feels dangerous to me.
Here we go. Key takeaways: freedom and acceptance. Stop wasting energy trying to change people. Accept their behavior as information and not a reflection of your self-worth. Detachment from control. The only thing you can control is your own behavior. Oh, I just said it. Letting others be who they are creates space for your peace. Boundaries through simplicity. Let them becomes a fast mental filter to reinforce your emotional boundaries. Self-respect. Why?
Because again, if you don't know how to set a boundary, this isn't a fast way to figure it the fuck out. In fact, this will go the opposite direction. If you have zero idea how to drive a car, and I'm just like, here's the keys, and this little tiny 5-minute tutorial, and you're going to go.
I don't think you're understanding the concept. I don't, because it's like, let them is like, if they're going to be a shitbag, let them be a shitbag.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying like you should just be like, I'm going to fight this until they're a good person. I recognize that would be dumb. And well,
that's what she's saying. That's the synopsis.
But
here.
I'm saying the part with the boundaries, I'm like,
let them becomes a fast mental filter to reinforce your emotional boundaries. Meaning, if you're going to be garbage, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, there's such a garbage can. I can't believe, you're not going to take space in my head. I'm going to let you
do your thing
over there and be garbagey. And you can talk all the shit you want about me, or you can say you can do whatever, you can behave however you want. Come after me all you want. Would you have thought that
when you were in your 20s?
No, some of it. I don't know. I kind of have always been like, okay, yeah, you just go ahead. I don't know if it's maybe I'm a little more on the passive side. Like I don't seek to.
And maybe that's the difference because I'm more the confrontational. Of like, all right, we're gonna fight this fight.
I don't necessarily like cower from confrontation, but
You don't seek it out.
I certainly don't seek it out. Absolutely not. I know you do.
Love it.
But I also think the difference is I, as a child, never felt unheard, and you did.
Right.
And the only way for you to get attention or response or something was to be loud and confrontational or whatever, right? Seeking any kind of response, whether it's negative or not. And mine wasn't that, because I always got validation.
Yeah. Well, and I think for me too, confrontation most of the time has always come from a place of the underdog and me fighting for the underdog. Always. That is literally like when I went to the feds and they did a background check, and every problem I had ever gotten into was literally because I had fought someone else's fight for them. And when I got in trouble at the feds, it's because I was fighting everybody's fight for them. And that's usually what it is I'm like, oh, you're hurting somebody. I have to fight this fight for you, you know? So
Yeah, because you didn't feel like anybody was fighting your fight for you.
Yeah, so I'll fight it for everybody.
Yeah. I don't think that mine came from my childhood like so much as like the string of bullshit relationships that I didn't feel heard. Not even that I didn't feel heard. I wasn't heard or seen in.
Yeah.
Because then I got cheated on fucking relentlessly for like 15 years from like every dude I was with.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was too moldy, you know, like I didn't have a backbone really. And I didn't
jellyfishing.
Yeah. And I've always been dominant, but not when it came to like me.
Yeah.
Like, whereas I feel like in this instance, the let them, whether that was like my ex-husband or, the business partner thing, where it was like, it was almost like a quiet dominance. Like, okay, you be loud and you get all the fucking attention that you fucking need.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I know my truth.
Right.
And I'm going to let that come out when it's ready to come out.
Yeah.
And then it came out at like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
It was like, I could not have planned.
Right.
If I had planned a year ago, or if I had retaliated the way literally everyone on the face of the planet was like, you have to do something. And I was like, I am doing something by not giving them what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because I think what they wanted, and what narcissists do, is they're narcissists, but in relationships too, is they poke and then they wait for you to be crazy and they're like, bam, got you. And then you're like, holy fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And that's 100% in my 20s. What happened is I would be very like, I was never like the toxic screaming girl. Like I never felt the need to do that. But then it was like one relationship after another that it was like, I wasn't being seen. I wasn't being heard. You don't value me. And then it was like, I had to be loud and confrontational in order to get a response. And then when I got into a relationship, like my relationship now, where I don't have to be fucking loud and I can be quiet and dominant and just let it happen, it's a totally different person.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be the crazy bitch to be seen.
Yeah. And I think maybe that's why, not just her book, but this is part of the reason why self-help books to me always land flat, is because they aren't tailored to the person, right? Like this is why I think in my mind, like therapy makes sense, because like I know you as a human. When I see you, I see what you're bringing. I know your background. I've done your assessments. Whereas if you just pick up a book, it's so generalized that let them, but you're codependent, that can be really dangerous, right? Or you let them, who we were like in our 20s when we were much more like, okay, I'll just kind of take it. And it's like, no, that's not okay, right? Like so maybe that's not just Mel Robbins. Sorry, Mel Robbins. Not that you fucking care or will listen to my podcast, but that's fine. Maybe you'll find me because now you're going to be pissed. But it's like in general, my worry, I guess, maybe, or my distaste for these kind of books is how much you can generalize it. But it's like you have to be careful too, because there are people who will read this and I think it will take them to a place that could be ultimately very unhealthy.
Yeah, maybe that it's just like interpreted incorrectly. Yeah. Like I could see if someone's like, oh, just let them. And they're interpreting that as like, he cheated on me. I'm just going to keep letting him cheat on me. Or like, that person's stealing from me. I'm just going to let them keep stealing from me. That is not what she means.
Right.
But I could see where like if you're not, I don't know, if your frontal cortex isn't fully formed.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly. Like I'm like thinking like
misinterpreted.
I'm thinking like a lot of like the young people that I know and I've talked to where you're like, do you understand how unhealthy that is? And they're like, wait, what? And you're like, okay, let's, like you don't just let them use you. You don't just let them take advantage of you, especially because so many young people and even grown adults have zero idea how to make a boundary or what a boundary is or what that looks like. And I think if in her book, which maybe now I'll read it, probably not, because I hate self-help books so much, but if there was like an entire section that was like, this is what boundaries are and this is how you set them, and then from this healthy place of like having these good boundaries, here is this theory. I guess that's my question, is like, what fucking order does this shit go in? Because that, to me, if you're just like, let them, and then you're just sprinkling in some boundaries, that seems real fucking risky. That's like going to a rave and just throwing out 2 condoms and hoping for the fucking best.
That's fucking funny. Mel Robbins' Let Them is a powerful minimalist mindset tool designed to free you from the stress of control, people-pleasing, and emotional overextension. The premise is simple. When people show you who they are and what they want, When people show you who they are, what they want, or what they choose, let them. I think that's great. Yeah. When people show you who they are.
Yeah, which is fine. You can show
let
me.
them.
I'm still going to want to bury your body.
That's fine. She's not saying don't have the response. She's just saying,
do you know
once
that for
you
sure?
yeah, it literally says that. It's a synopsis of it.
I'm going to need you to read the book and then tell me.
Okay,
Not the
you
fucking
should also
synopsis.
read the book. But I just read it to you. You're like blocked. You don't want to hear it.
I don't
Is this
know.
what Angelo feels like?
Probably every.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's probably exhausted because of
yeah,
it.
yeah, you came in like, no, I'm not fucking changing my mind.
I don't know. I would have to read it to have more. But from what I have read on several different platforms.
How old are these women that are giving responses?
20s and 30s.
20s.
20s and 30s. That's why I was saying, like, that's what a self-help to me can be very dangerous, because exactly why I was asking, like, do you think in your 20s it would have been a safe bet to be like, fuck it, just let them be, without teaching solid boundaries first?
I think that's what this is trying to do.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like it from what I've read. So can you read the book and then let me know?
Oh my God. But that's what I'm saying. She's
Like the real
literally
book.
saying, I know, but I'm saying, when this is a quote from the book. When people show you who they are,
Yeah, which I agree with.
what they want,
Yeah.
or what they choose,
Yeah.
let them.
Yeah.
And that's a boundary. Like if you're gonna cheat on me, you go do that. I'm
But
leaving.
you know that that's a boundary because you're in a healthy place. I'm asking you to look at that from somebody who is young and doesn't have a full idea of what a boundary even is. Like the amount of times I have to explain to people, like, a boundary is a door. You get to open it and close it whenever you feel. They're like, oh, I didn't know that's what that was. They're not going to read that. I would not have read that in my teens and been like, oh yeah, that's for sure a boundary. There's no way. That's what I'm saying. That's
I'm
where the
gonna
hole
ask
is for
my
me.
stepdaughter and be like, read this.
No, you can't ask her. You got to ask a different kid. She's wicked smart. You got to pick somebody else's kid.
Why should we be so smart?
Yeah, she's super
You
smart.
have to pick someone else's kid. You have to pick a dumb
I'm
one.
gonna need you to pick like a regular kid.
Oh, I don't know any regular kids.
Just pick one. Just walk out here and just pick a kid.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and just ask. Like, if I told you,
Do you think I should ask Kathleen to come in here and read it?
I mean, you can. Yeah, you can text her and tell her, "Come here," and have
She's
her.
gonna be all.
She's gonna be like,
She'll be really fucking
She would
awkward.
be so awkward.
Okay, I'm gonna text her.
Yeah, because if she knows that that's a boundary, I'll be wrong.
Oh my God, she has to come in here right now.
Yeah, if she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna be like, 2 thumbs up, like and follow for this bitch to be right every day.
Consult room, please. Here we go. Let's see.
Here comes the experiment.
Like
Swishy,
live.
swishy.
This is live.
I'm gonna need this part edited out just in case.
No, the fuck you don't. Because
No, I'm
one of
gonna
us,
own it. If I'm
one of
wrong,
us
I'm
is, I'm gonna let them. If I'm wrong, I'm just okay. I'm gonna just let it be. You the fuck, you won't. You'll be like,
You
no, you're wrong.
won't.
Try it again.
You won't. You'll like pocket it for like
No.
a month from today. And
That's
you'll be
you
like,
that does that.
I like a sweet victory. What's wrong with that?
You're about to be wrong.
We'll see. How are you gonna ask her?
I'm just gonna read this and
Okay.
tell it. Just tell me what that means to you.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just put stuff in my hair. So.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, it's my first day with my new mouth.
It's my new mouth.
It's the
I
worst.
just snorted. I brought my new mouth today. She
I
doesn't
brought
know
it
what she's
just
doing.
for this episode to be right. Yeah. Could she move faster?
Well, she is working.
I mean,
she's like
does
doing
she have to?
jobby things. Yeah, I'd pay her.
But no, I think that. So let's see what she says. But that's where I think my concern is like when I think of, sure. And, Mel Robbins, I think is like, what, in her 50s?
I don't know. We could ask ChatGPT.
Because I'm sure she's like 50-ish. Late 50s would be my guess.
Oh.
Watch me be wrong. And she's like 38 and she comes and finds me.
I can't wait. Yeah. Instead of resisting other people's behavior, obsessing over their approval, or trying to change them, Robbins suggests that peace and power come from releasing the need to manage anyone but yourself. Let them is a permission slip to stop trying to fix, prove, or persuade, and to start choosing yourself. Mm-hmm. That's literally a boundary. That is the definition of a boundary.
But you know that because you've done the work and
I know what I'm saying. Even if I didn't know that, she's teaching you that without saying this is a boundary. She's like, do this shit. Stop being dumb.
Yeah. Again.
You just hate it.
No, I just hate that. Like, yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's
Yes,
just,
the fuck you are.
I'm just saying you're not wrong because your frontal lobe is done and you've done the things and
done.
you've done
It's
the work.
all done.
It's all done. It's cooked. Ting! The little fucking light went on, ready to go. Ting! Ting! But again, my argument is, if this was somebody who was fresh off the farm of life, would they read that and be like, that's a boundary? That means that I should do X, Y, and Z and tell somebody to go fuck themselves or whatever. And like, do you let them? Tell them like, hey, you know what? That's not okay. Or you just say, fuck it. I'm just going to let them do whatever. And I don't say anything about it.
I mean, I didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, so, yeah. All right, Mel Robbins Jr.
I mean, but look what happened.
I know, and I'm not saying that.
I spent.
I think in
a
some
year.
instances you're right.
Oh, I just tried to push my glasses up, but I missed it, and then it scared me, and I was all, "Oh, with my hand!"
It's like that thing where they do the spider on the app, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that
it's
would
super
no.
creepy.
I would have to pee.
No, I think there are certain instances where, yeah, you do have to eat a little crow and be like, today's not that moment. But those are far and few between, in my opinion.
No, well, in your life, not even in your opinion. That's just who you are.
I'm just saying, I don't like when people get taken advantage of, I don't like when
Well,
people
I don't think anybody's like, yeah, I love it when you get taken advantage
Some
of.
people do. They're narcissists.
Okay, well, they're not humans. They're garbage cans.
Yeah.
The majority of normal humans. I don't think anyone's like, oh, cool, I watched somebody get taken advantage of. That feels good.
Right.
But I also don't think that everybody necessarily has a visceral reaction like you do. But my husband's the same way. Yeah. Mike gets like angry when people, like, with obviously because he loves me. Yeah. And it was really hard to watch. And that situation happened to both of us, but very differently.
Yeah.
But he was very angry and was like, you have to fucking do everything you can.
Yeah, because he and I conversated a lot about it because we were both like, what is she doing?
Well, and I mean, Arian, even my mother, I mean, everybody was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And I feel very much like I did what my dad probably would have done, was just like, just fucking take it. And then I'm just going to rebuild silently and quietly. And nobody's really going to have because when I come back I come back up, like now I've rebuilt myself and nobody can take that from me.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can do that though while I'm also murdering you.
You can't. I'm gonna call her and be like, could you come in here?
Could you come here? Because I'm desperate to prove Rebecca wrong.
Yeah.
Desperate.
Do you think I should open the door or should I just like call the front?
On the front.
You think I should call the front?
Yeah. Just be like, hey, can you come here? I have a question to see what you think this means.
I'd like to prove Rebecca really, really wrong.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where that's going to go for you.
Oops.
We'll see. I mean, I love being wrong, so it's a learning experience.
She said yes.
Oh, shalabala.
Here she comes.
Swish, 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 swish,
Swish, swish, swish.
swish, swish, swish.
I'm going to sit really close to you.
So are you going to read this fucking book for me and like clip note
I
it?
don't read.
Yeah, you don't read.
We could ask her to read it.
Worse.
Kathleen reads.
Does she?
Yeah, she loves to read.
Oh, yeah, let's have her read it.
Did you just knock? Come in here. Yeah, it's fine, but real gentle. There you go. Come all the way in.
Get all in here.
Yeah, we have a question.
You're on camera, so get ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Come over here. Come over here. Kat, get ready.
How far? Should she say?
Do you want to sit? Do you want to stand?
Is she
what do you
want to
do? Yeah, get in here.
Sit down.
Get
really close. Yep, get close. Okay. All right. I'm going to read this to you. And then you're going to tell me what it means to you. Okay? Like, yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to read too much and give it away. All right. There's a theory. Okay. And the theory is called Let Them. The premise is simple. When people show you who they are, what they want, or what they choose, let them. Okay, now tell me what that means to you. And you got to get all the way up in there. Yeah.
Oh, wait, okay. I guess to me that just means to just let people have their own freedom to do whatever they want / can. I can't control that. They can do whatever they can or please.
Do you know that that is or is not a boundary?
How?
Like letting them just be? Does it feel like that is a boundary for you?
I'd say that it is.
Okay.
Like
All
I
right,
can't
you were
control
right.
it.
I know. How old are you?
I'm 21.
All right.
On camera.
I was wrong.
She's convinced that.
I don't think that most 20-year-olds would know that that statement that she just made explains that that is a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
that's
have another 20-something. We could ask her.
so that's why I was saying, like, I don't think most 20-year-olds would be like, oh yeah, that means that that's a boundary.
I think I'm emotionally mature.
Thank you. Okay, so then half of you,
Imagine.
yeah, suck it. Yeah, whoop, whoop, it's on camera. I told you too. You were gonna fucking get all crazy when you thought you won.
I'm just saying.
And you're like, no, I'm not.
Okay. I'm right a lot.
Well, you're halfway right. I was the other half. So
Yeah.
thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah, I mean,
Appreciate
I
it.
don't think I'm like other 20-year-olds.
Yeah, I don't either. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to let her have this moment, but thank you for shitting on it. It makes me feel better about my life. So, suck it.
I mean, I kind of...
Yeah, and that
both
was
of
my
you
thing
out.
is that my concern about this type of theory, and I'm going to use that term real fucking loosely,
Okay.
is that I don't think most young people will read that and say, oh, that means that I should set a boundary. I think I worry that most people will read that and be like, oh, I guess I just let them do whatever. And then that hurts people more. That's why I wanted to ask you. Just kidding. She wanted to ask you because she thought she doesn't agree with me. She thinks everybody's going to read it and be like, that's a boundary. And I'm like, no, fuck, they are.
No.
What I said was that I think that the premise of that is that you're being taught that that's a boundary without the words, that's a boundary.
yeah.
Which is dumb. Which is dumb. You need to tell people.
No, that's like teaching you manners without saying those are manners.
That's like saying, say please, say thank you, say you're welcome, hold the door for people.
Yeah.
You're teaching people how to be decent humans.
It's a boundary.
Mm.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Whatever.
You
It
agree
goes
with
both
me?
ways. It goes both ways.
We're still 50-50.
Yeah.
So suck it. You don't get your little bloop bloop.
Yes, I do. You said you're right on camera. That's all I need.
Halfway. She's halfway
we're gonna
right.
Get rid of the rest of it.
50%.
I'm right.
All right. No, that's all. Thank
Okay.
you. You were super helpful.
Yep. Yep.
I'm still halfway right. It's better than being halfway wrong.
You do know that if you're halfway right, the other half is wrong.
Not in my world.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Fucking worst.
But she is right. But okay, so can you concede just a tiny bit that
Okay.
there might be a little danger in it not being a little more
Well,
clear?
that's what I said is if it's misinterpreted, like let them cheat on me and I'll just
Right.
stay here forever.
That's all I'm asking.
But that's what I'm saying is that's not what the fucking book is about.
Well, she
There
needs to
goes
better
my, look
define
at this,
it.
look at this.
Whee! She needs to better define it.
How do you know she doesn't? You didn't read the book.
That's why I told you to read it and cliff note me. Give it to Kathleen and let her read it.
You're the worst.
And then she can tell us because I think it's malarkey as of right now. I'm still not getting it. I still don't like it. And the forums I've read, a lot of people don't. So suck it.
The forms that you've read,
Yeah.
are they like who what forums are these?
I think I read one on like Reddit. I think I read one on like some like book web page that I sometimes look at to find like new books to read because I like to go down the rabbit hole. And that, yeah, there was people that were like, I don't think that this is like the. And I think a couple of people commented on the fact that like her background makes people a little apprehensive about it too, which I get. I mean, I've read some books from people that are or are not credentialed, and sometimes it's like, yeah, I mean, that's okay. And then there's other times where I'm like, that's way the fuck off. And that can be really scary.
This book will be here tomorrow.
Oh, thank God. All right. Is Kathleen going to read it? And then she's going to, because I know you're not going to read it.
I don't read.
I mean, you can give it to me. I'll read it in a weekend. But why don't we let Kathleen read it and then she can educate all of us on it? Since you thought
She will. She loves to read.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay.
And she's, in that bracket.
Well, then I guess I'm going to ship it here to the
Okay.
clinic.
All right. And then maybe we'll have a part 2 where I'll still be right.
Jeez.
So good.
You're literally the worst.
Do you read self-help books? Because you looked at me like I was fucking nuts when I said that.
That's funny. It's so weird that we're talking about this because I was just bringing this up the other day. Was it with you? No, I don't know who the hell I was talking to yesterday. Anyway, cool beans. My brain's like, no, we just blocked that out.
Yeah.
The only, I think, self-help book I've read was called Girl Wash Your Face. You heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yes.
You gonna shit on that too?
No, I've never read it. I've never read it. So
Interesting.
I haven't read this one.
I didn't make it all the way through it because I think I was like waiting to have the baby or something. And I don't know, life happened and I was like, oh, but anyway, I read the majority of it. At the time that I read it, let's see if I can give you a little synopsis of this one. But at the time that I read it, I didn't identify with a lot of it because it was really about, there were a lot of chapters about being a mom and I wasn't yet.
Yeah.
Give me a...
Maybe that's why I didn't read it. I mean, I do remember hearing about it though. I remember hearing different things about it.
Girl,
but I don't think I ever read that one.
Face.
Like I said, I don't hardly ever read self-help.
Girl Wash Your Face is a motivational self-help book where Rachel Hollis challenges the lies women often tell themselves that hold them back from living confidently and authentically. Each chapter tackles a specific lie, like I'm not a good mom, I'll start tomorrow, and it pairs it with personal stories, humor, and practical advice for overcoming self-doubt, guilt, and insecurity. The book's central message is you are in control of your own happiness. Stop waiting for permission, stop believing you're not enough, and start taking responsibility for the life that you want to create. So yes, it's written in a casual girlfriend style tone and became the bestseller for its mix of raw honesty and encouragement. So it's been years. I mean, it was before Alana was born, so it was easily like 7 years ago because I wasn't even, I don't even think that I had gotten pregnant yet, honestly. But it was like all the rave. And I was like, ooh, a ton of people were posting all over social media. And I was like, ooh, order. So I ordered it and I really liked it. It was a very easy read. And I felt like some of it I could really identify with, like, you are good enough. You're, get your head out of your ass. You're in control of your own happiness. But then some of the things, because I wasn't a mom yet and I didn't struggle with the mom guilt, which now I think if I read it, I'd be like, oh, damn. Right. But like if I was like, oh, I'm going to skip this chapter.
Yeah.
But it did make me feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't like, this was life-changing.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, because I don't even remember much of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's one I read, fucking now, I can't think of the name of it. It's a guy, I'll have to look. I'll have to go through my stuff. And it's something like it's not the one, do epic shit, but it has something like some bad word in it. Now I can't think of it. Maybe it was that one. I don't know. But the guy...
It's not the subtle art of not giving a fuck or something like that?
It might be that one. It's one of those. And the guy, from the very beginning, I think I listened to this one on audio rather than read it because I was like, well, I'm in my car. I might as well fucking listen to something. And I think it was honestly, it was like a freebie. I don't even think I purchased it. I know I didn't. And from the very beginning, he's like, yeah, after I graduated from private school and went on my backpacking trip across Europe. And I was like, here we fucking go with this bullshit. And
you found yourself.
Oh, you found yourself, you cracker motherfucker, walking your ass across, Europe with the Po people. And it was just so gross, And it was exactly what I would expect from all the things. And he's like, I grew up in California and, my parents had this money and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here we go. And I listened to and I listened to the whole thing because I was like, I'm gonna put my back into it even when I don't like things. I'm like, all right, I'll fucking try. And the whole time I was like, if I fucking saw this guy in real life, I'd punch him right in the chode because I can't with him. Like the whole time he was like, you'll just find yourself and, you know, you won't care about the things. And I'm like, yeah, because you're rich, dumbass. Like that's very different than I'm like, well, I just left the trailer park and I've got my backpack to fucking school. Like what? No. So that was probably the one and only self-help that I've ever fucked with. And it wasn't a good experience. So didn't love it. Yeah.
Are there self-help books about not being like
sassy?
Angry? I know there are.
I'm not angry. I'm just saying people suck.
Oh, you're not angry. You're not like an angry little elf.
I just hate when I waste my time on fucking books that suck. That literally chaps my ass because I fucking love to read. And when it sucks, and I'll put my back into it, and I'm like, this better get better. But I did, where was it at? Somewhere I had read a thing, like I think it was last year, and it was something about books, like, you know, and it said like after 3 chapters, if you aren't buying into it, stop. Like don't read it anymore. And so I've been doing that because there's a couple of books I've gotten. I'm like, nope. And I like put it on my shelf to donate. I'm on nope, not today, Satan. But I do give it the 3 chapters. And then I'm like, this is terrible. So,
which takes you what, like 2 minutes to read
2.5 minutes. And I'm like, that sucks. Boop, done. So I can go through them pretty quickly. So yeah, I definitely, at least I'm trying that. But I do get mad when I read a book and it sucks. It's like, you know, it's like a bad date. You're just like, poof. Like I shaved all my parts and did all my things and showed up and this sucked. You know? It's like that. That's what bad books feel like to me. Like back when you used to date and do all the things and it was a waste of time. Hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like this let them be thing. I'm like, I don't know that I would enjoy it. So that's why somebody else has to read it because I already know. I'm going to get 3 chapters in and be like...
Yeah, but I think I'm going to really resonate with it because I just did it.
Yeah, I think you're going to love it. And you're going to call Mel Robbins and be like, oh my God.
Well, I like Mel Robbins, actually.
Yeah, I think she's got some good shit to say.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against her. I just think this book seems a little bullshitty. But
because you're also not a let them person. You're like, oh, are you a shitbag? I'm gonna make sure everybody fucking knows that. And I'm like, oh, you're a shitbag. You're gonna show everybody.
And it's worse when you're mean to somebody I love. I'm like, okay. Now it's on. Even like my kid, I'm like, you're 10. I'll fight a 10-year-old. I don't fucking care. That little girl was mean to you. I'll flick her in the forehead.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, fuck that baby. But you know, whatever has to happen. I just don't. I don't know. I don't like ugly people that are mean.
No, I don't like them either, but I just have a different approach.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to let you look like an asshole in front of everybody on your own because it resonates much better when you fuck it up in front of people instead of me saying they're an asshole.
I like both.
Well, it doesn't work both because you got to keep your mouth shut. It doesn't work. You don't get both.
Well, maybe next year.
Yeah, no. That's,
I have. There's times. There's been a couple of times.
your voice cracked when you said it.
There's probably only been one.
Like, I have one. And it was by accident because I was dying.
Worst day of my life.
And I couldn't get out of bed.
Never did it again.
Literally died that day.
I moved countries.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate it.
You're like, remember when I got septic and died? That was the day.
That was it. That was the one time, and that was all. Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like I lit people, and then I lost a colon. Not anymore. That's what happened.
No.
So take that, Mel Robbins. Have you lost an internal organ? I don't want to hear shit.
Do you think it's because you held it all in?
No, it's because I just am angry. Fight the fight.
Yeah,
You're
you're
fight the
angry.
fight.
That's what I mean.
I guess I gotta fight the fight.
But when you're angry, you hold it all in.
But the universe gives people like this, you know? Like you're like, all right, it's cool. And I'm like, I'll fucking kill everybody. And that's why the universe pairs people up like that because that's how it has to work. So you have to be like, it's cool. And I'm behind you like, I'll fucking kill you.
That's how Mike is.
Yeah. And that's how my husband, he's like, I'm real chill until I'm not. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. But then.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's Sparta.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. And it is. Like we've even done the Spartan nod. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And he's like, and it's on. And that's how you do. And that's exactly what happens. You know?
That's what Mike calls the try me bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you know this story, but I'll just briefly explain. Essentially, we were at a park with our little girls, the little ones. And this is like, I don't know, maybe a month after we started dating and like after we moved in and stuff. And so everybody's acclimating. I'm still like fucking wrapped up in all the trauma and like, you know, I'm so very easily triggered by anger. And so, and Mike is very like calm and
Yeah.
sweet. You know what I mean? He's just got that like sweet energy.
Yeah.
Until he's not. So, you know.
Yeah.
So something happened where this lady's dog was at the park, and there were the group of adults didn't even have kids. They were just at the park with a dog, and the dog bit this little boy. And the grandma of the little boy is like, dude, your dog just bit my. And so Mike's like watching all this because
Right.
he's like, little grandma. He
Right.
immediately is like, oh, there's a bully. And
Yeah.
he's like, whoa.
He and I in a
I'm
park
wizarding.
together, we'd be
Yeah.
like, that's it, everybody back up.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's Dizzy squared,
Yeah.
and they don't.
They're going to kill everybody.
Yeah,
so we
they
have
don't
to
give
go.
a fuck. And he immediately like hones in on this, and he's like listening, and I'm like halfway listening, and then he's like, that dog just bit that kid, and I was like, get my fucking kids away from it. And so the grandma's like, your dog just bit my grandson. Like, what the fuck? And the lady is like, pull his pants down so I can see like the bite.
The fuck?
And she was like,
You pull your pants down, lady.
Yeah. So the grandma's like, inappropriate, not
Right.
gonna do that.
Not going to, thank you, no.
And then the lady starts yelling at the grandma, and she's like, I don't know, mid to late 20s. And this is like easily grandma, like 60, right? And Mike was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you need help? Talking to the grandma. And this girl fucking flipped on Mike and like started like charging
Just
at him. Ballsy, because he's a big fucking tattooed dude.
Yeah, I
and
like-
she was not. She was like maybe your height,
Punch
a
her in the
little
throat.
heavier
Punch her
set,
in the throat.
and just like feisty as fuck.
Dumb.
And the boyfriend behind her is like, you can tell he's like, motherfucker.
Like, we're gonna do
like,
this
here
again.
the fuck we go.
Yeah.
Later on, the guy like chases us out in the parking lot. Dude, I'm sorry, my girl fucking always does this. It's so
should get a new
embarrassing.
girl.
Blah blah. I'm like,
Sounds horrible.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, my Mike has like these bright lime green sunglasses on that he borrowed from me. Because he was like, oh, fuck, I didn't bring my sunglasses. And I'm like, well, I have these. And he like puts them on. It says like fucking bright green. There's no chance you're taking him serious with these. And he fucking rips his glasses off and he's like, try me, bitch. And I'm like, no joke. And I'm like jumping up in front of him. And I'm like, oh my God, please not in front of my kids. You're going to. It is way more dramatic than it needs to be. But he fucking yanked him off.
Yeah.
And he goes, try me, bitch. And she fucking like,
Yeah.
and he's like, I was never going to like hit her.
Right. Yeah. You don't even need
But,
to.
like,
Just be like, knock
you
it
don't
off.
need to. Yeah.
Or he could have just, like Angelo does to
just,
me when I
go
piss him
ahead,
off.
swing.
He like puts it on my forehead and I'm like, I'll get you. And he's
I'm
like,
like,
the
I'm
fuck?
coming up
Yeah.
for you.
I'm like this.
Yep. It's like T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, oh my God, not in front of my kids. And I'm like jumping, trying to get his attention because he's 500 feet tall. And I'm like fucking Polly Pocket. And the lady's yelling behind it. The little dog is yipping. Her boyfriend is like, cut your fucking shit. And I'm like, we have to leave right the fuck now. And so Mike like looks down at me and like recenters and he's like, okay, we're leaving. So he like gets the girls and they follow us into the parking lot. And the guy's like,
apologizing.
dude, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, fuck that. And she starts like yelling at like Mike across the parking lot. And he's like, you better get your fucking chick in check or
Yeah.
it's terrible.
on. Yeah.
And then Mike called the cops essentially and was like, there are adults in a kid's park with a dog who
Yeah.
just bit somebody. And then the cops showed him and left.
Nice.
And I was like, so now we call it Try Me Bitch.
Yeah. I like that.
Because he's like, it's going to be the, ooh, hello. It's going to be the Try Me Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's Angela and I have talked about that where, because like we've seen videos where like these girls this girl got in this guy's face at a baseball game. She was white. I think he was African American. And I don't know what her fucking problem was. She was a total Karen. Starts flipping the fuck out on him. He gets up, fucking pops her right in the fucking mouth and knocks her cold out because he's a dude and it's a girl. And then knocks her fucking boyfriend out because he's right behind her like a dumbass, like yelling but not really doing anything. So he knocks both of them out cold. And when we very first started dating, we had this conversation, because he was like, you're very feisty, so we should probably have this talk, or he's like, if you start a fight, it's your fight. And I told him, it's 100% my fight. If I
You're very
open my mouth,
feisty.
if I open my mouth, like that's on me. Like it's 100% on me. And if I get my ass handed to me, then that's on me. Like if I'm not going to start a fight and then look to my husband to be like, can you save me? Because I opened my fucking mouth. Like I've done this enough in my life to know.
You're like,
I'm
check
ready
my
to be,
track
I'm like,
record.
okay, here we go. Like I'm smaller. Like I better bob and weave and run, because you're not going to get very far. But if we like look at each other and like I nod, then he knows. But then I also know to back the fuck off and just let him be. Because he's like, if I have to worry about what you're doing, then I can't handle this situation. And I'm like, okay, I'll just be back here, like, watching you fucking murder somebody. But it's so funny because, yeah, I would definitely lose my shit. But I just, yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta try me, bitch. But that's insane. And that kind of stuff, I'm like, girl, I got no sympathy for that kind of shit. I'm like, you deserve whatever the fuck. Like the girl at the baseball game that I was talking about. When he knocked her cold, I'm like, that's what you get. You wanted to fight a dude. And you thought that was going to end better for you.
I know, girls are ballsy as fuck. I'm like...
Yeah, I'm like, do you see the math on this? Like,
yeah, like...
This is what's
you're
so
not
funny.
a science major? Okay.
Yeah, because Angela and I always laugh about these fucking movies, like this new one that just came out, Ballerina, with this John Wick shit. Have you seen this? Oh my fucking God. So Keanu Reeves, according to what I read, is that Keanu Reeves is like, I'm too
so
old.
you read something about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shocker. He's like, I'm too old to be doing another John Wick. I'm fucking tired. You guys are banging me all over the fucking place. So they're like, okay, we're going to do like a girl version.
Ah.
Okay. And she's also a fucking ballerina. Okay. So, mind you, she weighs a buck-01 soaking fucking wet. Like the gun she has in one of the scenes, I'm like, that's bigger than her whole ass. Like, the fuck, she is not going to fight this fight. So we joke all the time about, you know, and even if you look at studies that when Kill Bill came out, the rate of domestic violence where women were the perpetrators, like, skyrocketed. Because women were like, oh yeah, I'm going to fight this fight, and I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And no, the fuck you're not. You're going to die. But it's these kind of things that we always laugh about because I'm like, you're a girl. Like I mean, I know one girl, my mom's friend Carly, she could probably kill a dude easily. That's the only one. That's the only one I would put money on. All the rest of us were going to die. So when these girls get all ballsy, I'm like, good luck. Good fucking luck, because that is not how that's going to work out for you. And yeah, and asking somebody to fucking show your kid's ass, I probably would have just popped her in the mouth.
Well, yeah, she was like, well, pull his pants down. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I was like in disbelief at like what the fuck this lady was asking.
Yeah. I think
And
I would have
was
just
like trying to like wrangle my, because my girls were 1.5 and 2.5. Like
Yeah,
they were little, still in diapers, both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like fucking trying to get my little chickens, little tiny chickens.
Yeah.
The little beep beep beeps.
Yeah. I think I would have called the cops and been like, this lady just solicited my child for his
Nice.
penis, and then fucking have her get registered.
Yeah, it was a thing. But yeah, Mike was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you need help? Real kind,
Yeah.
quiet, gentle, because he's a fucking gentle giant until
Yeah.
he's try me, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Angela's like that. He's just real like, okay. And then all of a sudden you're like, and we're all going to die now.
Yep.
Like it's just, there's no line. It's just, I'm good. We're all going to die. And you're like, and here it comes. But
Yeah,
same.
I've never, like, even when Mike and I argue, he's never been, like, we've only raised our voices at each other once in almost 3 years,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then both of us were like, ooh, that was ugly. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we just were like, okay, it was real bad. We gotta, like, he, like, went and sat in his truck.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm leaving, but only to the driveway.
Yeah. Only right there.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm also leaving up to the stairs.
yeah. This will come as a surprise to you, but Angelo is much of the gentler fighter. He's just like, I don't think we should do this anymore, and this is getting real unproductive, and real calm about it. And then there's me.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking shocking. You know, now he's just like, I think this is too much, and I need space from you. And I'm like, we're gonna fight the fight. So,
I used to be like that, and it's a lot of like fear
yeah,
driven.
yeah. I'm way
you know?
better now that I've
Right.
worked on my shit with him, especially.
Well, and you know he's not leaving.
yeah, exactly. He can't. I
Yeah.
know all the passwords.
Right.
So
And I'll slash your tires.
and I will light everything on fire.
fine.
Yeah. So.
You're chipped, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tripped you while you were sleeping. Yeah, you got that weird little lump there. Yeah.
yeah.
As I'm
It's
like,
not an ant bite.
where are you at, motherfucker? Because I see you.
So funny. Yeah, I'm very like, I don't know. It's so interesting that you brought the let them thing up though, because I
Feel like it was successful for you?
I literally just did it without even like really intending to, but it was almost like I just didn't feel. It just didn't feel right to me. Like
Yeah.
as angry as I was, and like Mike was also very angry, and he was like, "You have to fucking fight back."
Yeah.
And like, I don't have to do fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like I love him to like no end. Everybody was like, you have to do something, you have to do something, you have to do something. And it almost made me feel like the more that people were like, you have to, the more I
you
like
pulled the other way.
dug my heels in, like,
Yeah.
fucking watch me.
Yeah.
And I think for the first time in my life, I didn't listen to what someone else had to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was very liberating.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
it hurt. Don't
yeah.
get me wrong. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this feels so good
No,
to have
yeah.
like my entire life ripped out from under me
Right.
and like the fucking betrayal.
Yeah.
Like at so many levels. And even a year and a half later, shit's still coming out that I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, dude.
Right.
Like I just found out that I had a horrible falling out with somebody that I
Didn't
never
know.
even
Yeah.
spoke to. And I was like,
You're like,
really? Like I seriously, I just found out last week that I had a crazy falling out with somebody.
Huh. You're like, where was I there?
Yeah, and then I pulled up the last text message, which was a year and a half ago, and it was like, "Thank you for everything you've ever done for me and my family." And I was like, "Damn, that
Like,
was a
that's-
terrible falling
Yeah, you're
out."
like, that was the worst one. Well, and maybe, because I mean, we've talked about too, like anger and how unhealthy anger can be for you, right? And how toxic it can be. You could lose a colon and also some trauma, but whatever. But I think, although I don't really feel angry, I just feel aggressive. I don't ever really feel angry. I just feel like it's my due diligence is to fight the fight, because it doesn't feel ever like I'm not angry about it. I'm just like, this is what you're supposed to do to me. That's always like, because even when you were like, oh, you're angry. And I'm like, no, it's not anger. I just feel like you're not going to do that. Not to people I care about. And I'm just like, this is what you do. You just fight the fight, and it doesn't leave me feeling anything other than just not doing it makes me feel yucky. That makes me feel not anger, but just yucky. But I could see how this book, this theory, fucking need some goddamn research on that bullshit. But anyways, I don't feel like people know what that word means, but whatever. That maybe for people like in instances where you've like grown and matured and you're just like, I don't, because I think there are like, we were just talking about, like there's certain things with certain people where it's like, you know what, you're going to piss me the fuck off. I don't really want to be around you. But we all know at the end of the day, like the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
I don't need to fight this fight.
Correct.
And there's been a couple times we've talked about that where I'm like, I'm not going to fight this fight. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and recently we had, an experience with somebody, and then it was like, I don't have to tell you why this is bad.
Right.
I'm just going to let you do your thing.
Right.
And
watch
it's just
you
going to
implode
show
yourself.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to reach out to you. I'm not going to do any of the things because you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do anyways. And that's none of my,
Yeah.
And part of it, I think, too, is now, especially, I'm so busy and I'm tired that I'm like, if this isn't literally you're hurting somebody I love, I can't fuck with that right now. Like, you're definitely.
Yeah. I literally just said that on Tuesday. Like, do you know how fucking busy I am?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I just don't even have, like, I don't even care. Like, I've moved on. Like,
Right.
I was upset for like probably 33 hours.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb.
Like, I'm done.
I don't really care.
I don't want to fuck with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that comes from growth.
Right,
Like,
exactly. And maybe that's why I worry that with books like this, if you haven't had that, I guess it would just be like a caveat of like, if this
disclaimer,
isn't
don't read if you're
disclaimer
not over 30.
Yeah, if you aren't healed an emotionally intelligent level of like 500, don't touch this fucking book,
Yeah,
so maybe
like,
that's
not
for
yet.
me. Yeah, like,
Like,
ooh, put it down, bitch, put it down.
And
Wash your face first. Then come back for this one. Like maybe they should do that at Barnes and Noble. Like put it in an order of like, you got to like level up, bitch. So hold on. You haven't done this one yet. You can't do this one.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, like teenaging for dummies?
Yeah.
And then it's like wash your face and then
Yeah. And then
here's-
like 2-step Mel Robbins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
well,
I'm down.
and she's older. And
Right.
so she writes the book from that standpoint of
Right.
like, but I also get wanting to mentor like the younger generation
sure.
where you're like, hey, you're an idiot
Right,
now.
let me save you some time and energy.
Stop being an idiot now.
Yeah.
And yes, it may not resonate but that also could be fucking said for anything.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I could educate somebody on hormone replacement and they're like, oh, that's so I can fuck more. And I'm like,
you're
you
like,
are
"Ooh,
so
you read that very
gone."
differently.
Yeah. I'm like,
You're like, you're not wrong, but wrong in a way.
yeah, I'm like, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're like,
we're
similar,
not saying the same thing.
different.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, well, I don't know. Let's see what Kathleen says when she reads it. Let's see how I feel about it. I mean, maybe I'll read a couple of pages. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to. It's like the fucking astronaut shit. I always have to like double back and be like, all right, let me actually put some fucking effort
I'm like,
after
well, I
I
read
bitched
this on
about
Sunday.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows how thick it is. I mean, it has a little paperback book. We could probably get through it
Oh, you
quick.
probably get done. Like,
Yeah, I
in
do
an
like to
afternoon.
read.
I could do it while we pod. All right,
Well, it's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
So-
okay. Well, let me give you my animal facts. I only have a little one today because I'm tired and my brain's a little fucked. Did you know?
My brain's a little fucked. Did you know?
Did
There's
you
like
know?
no breath there.
Need one. Did you know that there are certain breeds of octopi, whatever you want to call them?
Octopussies?
No, all right. It's like platypi and
Platypussies?
fucking sickos. Bunch of weird fucking scientists jerking off to weird animal
Oh my
shit.
God, I hate it here.
There are certain octopi who, when they want to mate, they will take off their penis and throw it at the lady that they want to mate with. And she can either take it or she can throw it back. And I feel like that would be hilarious to watch in a bar. Just like, dick in your face. And she's like, not today, Stan. Or, okay, I'll hold on to this. And then, like, I don't know if they, like, reattach it. I'm assuming he has to, because what the fuck else is he going to do? But, yeah, he could throw his dick at her, and she's like, thumbs up or thumbs down. Swipe left or swipe right with that dick. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, no, I don't want to meet with you, Carl. Here's your dick back.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little one. But depending on the octopi. But yeah, so that's what you get today because I'm tired.
Oh my God. I have a girlfriend who's a bartender and she was just telling us last night, like all the fucking creepy shit.
Yeah, add that.
And she's 100% the person that would just like fucking launch the penis back.
Yeah, and be like, no. Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah, just like.
Or like,
fuck
oh,
that.
you ordered a fucking Bud Light? Bink.
Yeah. Pussy.
Wow, that is cool
Yeah.
beans.
You're welcome. Thought you would like that.
That's actually probably my favorite one.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well,
It was a little one.
I know. I'll try to like up it the next time. I don't know if it'll be a dick one, but it'll be something.
You're going to up it.
I'm going to up it. Oh, and now I'm going to do our closing.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
going to
I had
remind
to write
you.
it on the sticky.
Not that you can read that.
Yeah, well, you can't read it. I can.
Oh, can I try and read it?
No!
Can you just see it so I can fuck it up?
Oh, fuck it up. You're the give it to me.
I want you to know the first word says Madge. It doesn't say May. She's going to say that's what it says. It says Madge.
Well, you know-
M-A-J. What's the second word? Madge. Okay, you're holding it like here, and I literally just went like this. I'm trying. Madge door.
You're the worst. Shut up.
Where
Okay,
is the Y part?
that is the Y.
Where?
Those are both Ys.
You do know what a Y
Dick.
looks like, right?
Yeah, looks like that and this with this at the bottom. Take your penis back. I don't want it. No, Carl. Nobody wants your dick.
That's so fucking funny.
You should see the video of it. There's a video.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch
can
it.
YouTube it.
Ooh, I'm gonna
and
do
you
it.
just see it, and he's like, "Kunk," and she's like, "Brr." Like I imagine that's what she makes her. Like, no, Carl. All right. May your healing journey irritate the fuck out of all the people it should. Petty-luya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toodles. Bye, guys. Take your dicks home.
Oh my God.